President Trump and President Xi Jinping will meet in a few days at the G20 summit. What are expectations? Will there be a thaw in trade tensions? Hello, I'm Anand Naidu, and this is The Heat. All eyes on Argentina ahead of the G20 summit in Buenos Aires. But the main event may take place on the sidelines with a planned meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping. The ongoing U.S.-China trade war has driven economic headlines for months. So will the G20 help the world's biggest economies hit a reset button on their trade relationship? Here with a preview is CGTN White House correspondent Jessica Stone. And Jessica, remind us what has led us to this point with the Chinese and the United States president set to meet in just a few days.
Well, good evening to you, Anand. And of course, you talk about the possibility of a thaw in the relationship. This is a relationship that ran hot in 2017 and is now running fairly cold in 2018. You know, last year they met twice. That culminated in the very ornate and ceremonial visit of President Trump to Beijing to be hosted by President Xi Jinping, not only seeing private opera performances, but announcing some $250 billion worth of pledge deals between these two countries. So a lot of business done as well. But 2018 has brought tit-for-tat tariffs, round after round of them, initially on manufactured goods in the relationship. And now we are approaching a lot of tariffs on more consumer goods, though so far a lot of consumer electronics have been spared. And President Trump is still holding out the threat of additional tariffs on Chinese goods in the new year, not only raising the percentage from 10 to 25% on $200 billion worth of goods, but taxing the balance of the trade relationship between Beijing and Washington at some $276 billion worth of Chinese imports in the new year. Anand?
All right, and Jessica, what can we expect from this meeting?
Well, there are a variety of expectations, but none of them are very high that there will be a significant breakthrough here. What we hear from the business community, and I asked U.S.-China Business Council President Craig Allen for his thoughts on this, and he said basically there could be a deal if the scope of the conversation is limited to trade and investment. He said maybe there could be a deal if it is also going to address maybe the internal workings of China's economy, and there might be a plan to go forward on that. But he said there will not be a deal in his estimation if there is any effort to address national security concerns on Washington's part or sovereignty issues on Beijing's part. And Ambassador Shui Tiankai, the Chinese ambassador to the United States, he gave an interview to the Wall Street Journal yesterday, and over the weekend it was published. He says this: "So I think it's necessary regarding the meeting between President Xi and Trump for the two leaders to review the developments of the relations and also give us a clear strategic guidance on where the relationship is going and how the two sides should conduct this important and complicated relationship together." So Shui Tiankai really forecasting that he believes there could be a reset in Argentina. Now, here is what President Trump told reporters earlier this afternoon about his thoughts of a prospect of reaching a deal with President Xi.
Could happen. We have a good relationship. What do you think? It is what the bottom line is. China has to treat us fairly. They haven't been. They have to treat us fairly.
And not to be outdone by Ambassador Shui, President Trump also giving an interview to the Wall Street Journal in the run-up to G20, saying that the only deal would be China has to open up, quote unquote, their country to competition from the United States. In addition, he promised to go ahead and levy those $276 billion worth of tariffs, or that the tariffs on $276 billion worth of Chinese goods in the new year. And he said, in addition, it's unlikely he will not raise the threshold, the levy rate at which those $200 billion worth of Chinese goods are taxed from 10 to 25%. So all in all, he's going into the G20 with a lot of ultimatums for Beijing.